Take two. Hey, Eric from Minnesota Ice here with Peter Campbell from Red Wagon Pizza.
Ciao.
Ciao. Congrats on 9 years.
Hey, 9 years. Thanks,
years
buddy.
today.
9 years today.
Let's talk about ice bars.
I love ice bars.
Freaking A. Crushed it last year. Tell me about why you decided to, work with us and create an ice bar experience on your patio.
Well, I mean, for a long time, as you remember, you had told me about the benefits of doing an ice bar, Eric, and I was very nervous to do that. As you know, in January in this state, it gets real cold, and 50% of my seating goes away in January, and with that goes the revenue. So I'm very apprehensive to spend money in January when that's a time when I need to really pull back and hold off on spending.
Yep.
So spending a little bit of cash on an ice bar, a couple $1,000s, was very, very nerve-wracking to me.
Yeah.
So it was a delight to learn that once I did launch the ice bar, we leaned into it. We had solo stoves reserved. We had 3 of them total.
Okay.
And within the first night, we recouped entirety of our investment
On the ice bar.
on the ice bar.
No kidding.
First night.
And so you were running the ice bar basically the entire month of January, right?
Yes.
And then a little bit into February. And
We would have gone longer, but someone couldn't get me a second ice bar.
Who?
It was this guy.
Wait, where?
Yeah.
Because this guy can get you anything. But I wouldn't sell you something that's going to melt the next day.
I know, but I was dead set on it. I was like, it doesn't matter. We had at least another week, maybe 2.
Okay.
And it was doing so well that it was such a little expense to do another one.
Because you'd crushed it in the execution, and talk about like what was going on in the patio, like because you didn't just throw kind of several thousand pounds of ice out there and hope people came. I mean, you had a specific menu, a short menu, right? Couple cold drinks, couple hot drinks, and you had beautiful lights. You had solo stoves that you could reserve. You had blankets. It was a vibe. Like
Yeah.
who was coming?
Everybody. I mean, that was the interesting thing. That was a surprise. We expected families. We're a big family place, so I had little s'mores kits that people could buy that I put together. We had a very limited menu of food items, a hot beverage with alcohol, a hot beverage without alcohol, a couple cocktails, and it was limited because, as everyone knows, labor is the most expensive thing in this profession, and so I didn't want to throw servers outside and all of the extra people. I had one bartender we had outside. That was it. And they needed to be able to service the entirety of the patio. And at that time, it was 4 solo stoves, 3 were reservable, and 1 was a cocktail version of anybody
Kind
could
of
walk
stand
up.
around it, yeah.
And it was crushed. We had, like I said, 90 covers of Friday night, a Saturday night out there. 90 covers.
For the entire month of January.
All of January. Now, the thing is that our buying for those 90 covers is very different check per person than inside the restaurant.
Right.
But it's still 90 people coming and ordering food. So we leaned in. We wanted to make sure it was really nice,
Right.
that it was executed the same level of detail that everything we do in-house is executed. And I feel like we met people where they expected to see us and probably exceeded them in many ways.
Sure.
Because we had families, we had date night, we had buddies hanging out, just crushing beers outside, or Negronis and Old Fashions. And it was a lot of fun. I didn't think I'd be re-upping my glass buy in January, but we did because
The ice bar demanded it.
The ice bar demanded it.
Yeah. And are you doing another one this year?
We're double the size. We're doing it's twice the width, twice the width. We were lucky enough to expand the restaurant this year, so now we have even more space on the patio. And now that we're planning it far in advance, we're not planning it last minute in January. I have a strategy for keeping snow out of the patio, so I have enough room for more solo stoves.
Sure.
So I have a pallet of solo stoves coming next week. So we doubled down, and we'll have seating for, I think it's up to 12 different solo stoves. And maybe they will meet the point where people aren't as excited, but I kind of doubt it based on how many people we turned away last year. I think it's a good investment.
And people were coming, just to hang. People were coming for their reservation at the restaurant. Maybe the table wasn't ready, and so they would have, an additional drink on the patio. And people were having dinner at the restaurant and then having a nightcap on the patio. It's just it seemed like, it hit just across all possible demographics and all possible situations.
They would come in for dinner, their table wouldn't be ready on purpose, and they'd go, Oh, well, just a few minutes longer. And they'd go outside. We really want to go outside. We're going to grab a drink outside. They'd grab the drink outside. We'd transfer the check to their table. At the end of that, they'd then come back outside. They'd grab dessert. They'd grab another drink. Hey, we called our friends before we sat down to say, hey, there's an ice bar. You should come. And then their group would go from a two-top coming for dinner at 7 to 6 people at an ice bar till 10.
Amazing.
And that happened with regularity.
Over and over.
It was a gift. It was an amazing show of not only who we are as Minnesotans that want to be outside, that want to spend time with our community, with our people, but we're willing to do it wherever it's exciting. And ice bars make it exciting outside. And I think it's fantastic. I hope more places do it. I want to go to them myself. I was oftentimes, I think you and I and another friend had an experience out here at this ice bar, and we picked up and went to another ice bar. Yeah. It was super fun. And I gave those guys some pointers, like, hey, these Solo Stoves sell these little magic light packs that I kept throwing into the Solo Stoves when kids were around that turned it into like a colorful cauldron.
Right.
And it's, when you buy those wholesale, they're not very expensive.
There you go. Man, what an experience. And at Minnesota Ice, we're just about partnering with our customers and our friends and helping the hospitality industry. Can't thank you enough for your partnership and your friendship.
Oh, you make me better. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.